Hello, my lovelies. Welcome to another vlog from 9 to 5 to Entrepreneur, and I'm your host, Care. And on this vlog, we talk about what it's like to transition from working a 9 to 5 job over to the entrepreneur life. And on our last vlog, we talked about going back to a full-time job, and that was 3 weeks ago. So I thought it would be really cool to update you on what happened in those 3 weeks. Like, I feel like that wasn't even 3 weeks ago. Like, it feels like it was like 2 or 3 days ago. um, so I'm gonna title this vlog "Remembering Your Why" because after I posted that video, yeah, I actually ended up trying to apply to my old company. So I applied to the previous company that I was working for. I'm just gonna turn the air conditioning on because I have been napping on the couch for the last 4 hours. I just felt so knocked out today. And oh my goodness, I'm also gonna plug in my phone right now because it's just been sleeping. It's been kind of been a week while I've been sleeping, so. And we don't want our camera or our phone to shut down while we're trying to vlog here because this might be a longer vlog. Okay, we're all plugged in. This is my sunflower painting that I bought when I made like my first was it over 20K after declaring it to the universe and to my friends. Oh my god, like, so this is very meaningful to me. Anyway, so a lot happened. So I ended up sourcing my old company's website, and I took a look at it, and I was trying to find a job that I was very interested on applying to, but then it actually expired, and I knew that it expired. So I started looking at a different job, and the thing is, when I procrastinate on applying to jobs, there's a huge reason, and usually the reason is emotional, and what I mean by emotional is that it's because I don't really want to do it. So that's why I procrastinate on something. And I think there's nothing wrong with that. And I feel like that is something that a lot of entrepreneurs do experience, is that, when it comes to moving back to a 9 to 5 after things don't work out in the way that they want it to, it's a really hard decision. But nonetheless, I did find a position that I wanted to apply for. And so I started to work on my cover letter. Like, all the words were flowing out. I started to work on points for my resume. And it was for a technical writer position. And I have a lot of friends who still work at the company, so I actually reached out to a friend and asked her if she could write up a referral for me. And like, this company hires very high performing people who do their due diligence, who do their research. And my friend replied back to me the morning after, and it was almost like she gave me this really hard pill to swallow. And she took a bunch of screenshots of my LinkedIn profile, because now LinkedIn profile is what a lot of employers look at now. And she was pointing out an article that she could see like right away that was on my LinkedIn page. And the article is on how to quit your remote job. And she told me that I need to remember that I would be representing this company's brand, and that article would be the first one that like our recruiters would see. And I really, really appreciated her like solid and honest feedback, and I told her that I appreciated her and that I would take a look at this. And I sat with it for a few hours. Like, I was doing other things. I wasn't just like sitting there and just thinking about it. But it occurred to me that I started to remember my why. And part of my why was I wanted to start representing my own brand instead of representing other people's brands. Because that is what I did for the last like decade and a half, was I would represent someone else's brand. I'd always be the brand ambassador for another company or someone else. And there was only a few parts in my life in the last few years where I was representing Care's brand, my businesses, my business, or businesses I was working on that was aligned with me. And I was like, thank you for this, because I feel like it was a wake-up call. I feel like it was a wake-up call to remember my why. And that's why I titled this blog, Remember Your Why, because I find that a lot of entrepreneurs, they give up. They give up after several months of things not working out. And the hard truth is that we have to be willing to accept that it may not work out for the next month or few years or whatever, right? It all takes time. And even if we're practicing manifestation techniques in our business, we have to always keep that kind of like thing in mind, is that it may not work out, and we have to be okay with that. Because when we're okay with it not working out, what happens is we surrender, we're letting go. And when we let go, that's actually when things manifest for us. So I'm going to talk about that part now. So I remembered my why. And I was like, okay, yeah, I definitely don't want to work for another brand anymore. And just like my friend telling me this up front, that I would be representing this brand. Like I would be representing this brand again. And I was like, do I really want to be a brand ambassador again for someone else, right? I was like, no. So I said no, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna stop writing my application. Like I tried to pull up my application again and like just started to like write more, but I was like, you know what, I'm gonna keep this here because this is gonna be great for like any future jobs that I apply to, but also it's also a great material for me to just remember the things that I accomplished. And actually, as I was writing out like the points for my cover letter, because I like to actually format my cover letters and resumes after I write down a few points, kind of like writing an essay. It helped me remember who I was and what kind of work I did and how amazing I am and how impressed I am of myself and how proud I am of myself. And I was like, wow, I can actually apply all these things to my business. And that's when I had the light bulb moment that I was not applying these things to my business. And that's why I was trying to go back to something I was comfortable with, that I knew, that was certain and felt safe for me, was my old company. So the next morning, I actually replied back to my friend. I thanked her for helping me out with my application and for giving me honest and candid feedback, and that I'd be going in a different direction. And my friend replied, and she said, that's cool. I'm always happy to provide you a referral if you decide it again. And I really appreciate her for that. So this is the part where the let go thing happens. So as soon as I let that go, and then I started to just apply the epiphany, the learnings, the breakthrough that I had, that I needed to actually step into the person that I was at my old company, and also the person that I was at my other old company. Because at my other old company, I was kicking it off. I was helping the company make like a lot of sales. And I'm going to toot my own horn here because I'm very proud of it. And I was like, okay, I asked myself a question. So I have a Trello board. And Trello is a really great organizational tool and a great place where you can store your notes. And I always put my notes in there. And I asked myself, and I wrote down, how do I step into X company and Y company Care? That's what I wrote to myself. I didn't write out any answers. I just allowed myself to ask that question to myself and let my subconscious work on it in the background while I did all these other things. And then the answer started coming to me. And it was like, well, she would actually go back to her accomplishments. She would go back to what works, right? What actually worked when she was doing all these things, right? What actually got her to her peak performance levels at these companies? What actually got her to close like low ticket, medium ticket, high ticket sales? I don't think I closed any high ticket sales when I worked at these companies, but I closed a lot of low and medium tickets. And the same kind of concept can be applied to high ticket. And the biggest epiphany that I had, and you might want to take a pen and paper and write this down, is that I needed to focus more on serving and supporting my ideal clients and really listening to what it is that they need, and then providing them with a solution and asking them what they think to help them out. And then it also occurred to me that if I wanted to bring in abundance into my life, so I'm talking about like the personal reasons of why I started a business, right? Like I want freedom, and it's okay to admit that. And I want freedom, I want the abundance, right? Like, I mean, the abundance would allow me to have freedom, right? And I was like, okay, well, I understand now that if I want to feel supported, that I have to start to support myself. So if I apply that same kind of logic, then if I want to feel abundant, then I have to be abundant myself. I have to do what abundant people would do. So I went to Google. I was like, what do abundant people do? And I got a lot of really cool insights. You know, abundant people, they give away a lot of things. I started to manifest like YouTube videos that would come onto my feed saying like fun ways to practice abundance and bring in abundance in your life. And one of those ways was, and this is my favorite, was to like leave little coins all over the city or whatever, like Easter eggs, and let people find them, right? Because when you think of really abundant people or wealthy people, they're philanthropists, right? They give a lot of stuff away. They give a lot of money away. And even if you don't have a lot of money at the moment, you can give a little bit. I had a lot of coins just laying around my house, and I was like, I don't really like having coins laying around my house, and I think it'd be awesome to give these away. So I started giving away bit by bit. And you know what? I started to feel really good about that because I started to feel very wealthy. I started to feel very rich and very just good. I felt so good being able to donate these coins and just leave them around for anyone to pick up. Because you never know. Like someone could be struggling, or someone could really need 10 cents in that moment, and then all of a sudden they just find 10 cents on the ground. And a lot of people think that when they find money on the ground, it's good luck. And I definitely think it is too, right? So I started doing that, and I started to feel more abundant. And then what actually ended up happening was that I started to like receive donations from people, the universe, to help me get back up on my feet. So I received like a couple $100 recently from my family, and I received like a lot of groceries from my family. Like I'm so blessed and so grateful, and like I appreciate my family so much. Thank you. And I started to really get into the energy of receiving and being okay with saying yes, because back in December and right after I quit my full-time job, a lot of people were very generous, and they would like be like, I can give you this amount, I can give you this, and I would say no to it because I had so much pride and ego, and I was like, no, I have to like make this myself. And that is like a major no-no. Like that's something you should avoid in entrepreneurship. Like, it is okay to accept people's donations. It's okay to accept people's like handouts, because when you accept more in your business and you receive more, just as a person in general, guess what? You're gonna have more to receive. There's gonna be more that comes your way. And so I look back at that moment every time and I'm like, holy shit, I remember how I was just like eating just like chocolate bars every day. Like I was just reflecting on that this morning, and I was like, holy shit, like I'm so fucking grateful and happy that I have a fully stocked fridge and kitchen. Like I just got a bunch more groceries from my family today, which I'm very grateful for, and like I love my family. And like I was like, holy shit. Like I was just like grabbing a book, and then I was like, holy crap. Like I remember like 6 months ago, I literally just was eating chocolate bars every day. It was so bad. And now I'm like, I get to choose what I can eat. I don't have to just eat chocolate bars, and I get to choose what I can eat, and I can like stay at home and like make something at home. Like I'm so grateful that I can do this, right? And that I get to do this. So I highly, highly recommend casting your ego aside. If you're struggling right now, you have to cast your ego aside and ask for help and support. So that is actually what happened after I let go of applying to my old company. I ended up hiring a virtual assistant, and I have a very, very awesome like arrangement with her. So she is actually working on a project with me where she's the CEO of this project. And I was actually looking at my journal from a journal entry right before I met her. And I remember it's a journal entry in my manifestation journal. So I have a manifestation journal where I record all the different manifestations that I have. And that's how I come up with Manifestation Monday videos for my Instagram channel, which I will actually be posting on the Magnetic Unicorn YouTube channel very soon. I'm coming back to YouTube. Like I feel in alignment with this. And a lot of like my mentors and my coach friends, when I tell them about this, they like really feel that alignment for me. And I'm so glad to have that affirmation and that like validation, because I love going back to YouTube. And I've been treating Instagram kind of like YouTube. It's funny, like I think TikTok's also like a kind of like a short-term kind of YouTube too, because you can kind of just like have a talk. But I haven't actually been using that. I've been using it for like more shorts and stuff. But anyway, that's a different topic. So, I was looking into my manifestation journal, and I remember writing like, I was thinking about a virtual assistant, then I went to sleep, then the next day I got a DM from one of my old clients asking me if they could be a virtual assistant to help me with my DMs. I didn't move along with that client, but right after that happened, I ended up manifesting the opportunity to be a part of this project. And I had no idea that this person, my friend, my virtual assistant, wanted to be a virtual assistant. But I knew that she was so organized. Like she was like the most organized CEO person that I've ever seen in a while. She was so organized. She was like on top of all the systems and documentation, and like she was going back and forth, and I was like, damn, she's incredible. And she was also working on like 7 different projects at the time, and I was like, holy crap, she's fucking superwoman. Oh my god, amazing. And I was like, I need that. Like I need someone who's so organized and can get shit done like super fast. Like I don't really need it, but it would be really nice to have that on my team. And about 6 months later, things start to settle down on our project, and then she starts to unload a bunch of other projects that she was working on. She made some really tough decisions to quit school and actually just focus on her full-time job. And I was like, holy shit, you were doing a full-time job and you were attending school. That is impressive, but also very, very overwhelming. And I can understand why you would want to quit school. I would too. And then and then I realized that I really needed help with my DMs again, which I haven't actually unloaded yet for my virtual assistant, but I will get there. Just right now, I'm just trying to like figure out like what exactly, how she can help me. And I think that's something that we'll have to figure out in a one-on-one later. So, I made out another call. I was like, gosh, I can't wait until I hire a virtual assistant for my business. And at that time when I made that call, like I was not making a lot of money, and I definitely couldn't hire anyone. But you know what? Being an entrepreneur involves risks. So this is how we hired her. She actually posted on my post and told me to let her know if I need a virtual assistant. And I was like, okay, I will let you know. And then a few days later, I come across her Instagram story because I follow her. And she tells me, she's asking if anyone in the Chicago area needs a virtual assistant. And I was like, hey, I'm not in Chicago, but I definitely could use a virtual assistant. Let's set up a chat, right? And I was just thinking like, like my entrepreneur brain is going on, and it's just like, let's just have a chat and see what happens. Because like, even though we don't have income right now to hire someone, let's just see what magic happens. And so we set up a call for like, I think it was like 2 days from that day, or maybe a day, I don't know. And during that time, my brain like starts to work in the background, and then all of a sudden I came up with this idea, right? Because actually she mentioned that she just wanted to get experience. And I was like, cool, but I'm not going to tell her what I have up my sleeve. And so what I had up my sleeve is actually, I wanted to give her commission. So being super bold, I said, I don't have money right now to pay you, but when I sell a high ticket program, you will get 10% of those sales every time a high ticket program is sold. So I was like, 10%. I said 10% in my head because I had the $500 number in my head, and I was like, I think that's actually really reasonable. And what this does is that it keeps me accountable to move forward and keep on doing what I can as the business owner, as the CEO, the founder, as the coach, as the sales team, as the marketing team, to make sure that we can make some sales. Because I personally have a value that I don't like to work, like have people work for me for free. And that is because I have experienced what it's like to work for someone for free, and it's fucking exhausting. Okay, I'm just gonna be very blunt about that. It's so exhausting not being paid for your work, especially when you do, like, this is like your thing, and what you want to do for a living, right? So, I had my one-on-one with her. I told her my commission structure, and she was like happy to accept it. And she also told me that she didn't, she would not accept things like that, but she was happy to accept it. So she gave me her PayPal email. And I was like, okay, here's a contract. And I remember it took me like a whole week to get the contract done. I had like a contract drafted up, but I could not send it because, of course, there were the thoughts of like, oh my God, what if this doesn't work out? What if I'm a really bad employer, blah, 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 or whatever. And she's an independent contractor, so I'm not employing her per se. I am just like contracting her. So I got out a contract to her. She signed it like a week ago, and I've been handing her off tasks since then. Oh my God. And it just feels so good to be supported in my business because I can literally like just send her tasks that I want her to do and not worry about it. Like I don't have any deadlines or major deadlines or anything like that because it's all like just really small stuff that I want to get done and just like have done for me. And I noticed that just being able to delegate tasks is a huge lift of weight off of my shoulders because I hadn't delegated a task to my support team for a very long time. Like the last time I did that was when I was a freelance video editor and I needed to hire a videographer for one of the film projects that I worked on. That's a story for another day. If you'd like to hear that, let me know in the comments below if you want to hear more about my freelance video production business that I had when I was in my 20s. I'm in my 30s now. And so I felt so supported and so happy because it just aligned. We just aligned. Like she loves organizing things and she loves doing virtual assistant admin things. So the stuff that I've been giving her, I've been trying to just ask her like what she likes doing, but I haven't been able to give her what she likes doing, which is like organizing things quite yet. But I've been giving her some just like small like transcription projects. I gave her a bigger transcription project the other day. And I know she was spending some time with her family, so I don't really expect to have that done right away. That's totally okay. But I realized that I wanted to start transcribing my videos and my Facebook Lives and stuff now because I have actually gotten some feedback from some previous clients who have been like, it would be really cool to have an audiobook version or like a version where I could read your masterclass, right? Because some people actually don't really like to watch videos, and that's okay. Like I didn't like to watch videos before, and I was like, okay, like that'd be awesome. So I'm definitely building up my comfort zone and giving bigger tasks to people, because like there's a part of me like, oh my god, we're doing commission structure, and you know, a commission structure is a little bit volatile, because you don't know when the commission is actually going to come in. You don't know when a package is going to be sold, right? So but it feels so good to be supported. Anyway, so the next thing that I did on being a business owner is actually fill out an interview. I have just completed my first online magazine interview with the Go Solo Entrepreneur series, entrepreneurship series with Subkit. I'm gonna put the link in the comments below so that you can check out the interview. It just got published today. I'm so happy and so grateful and so thrilled to have this. Like, this was a childhood dream of mine, to be interviewed about my entrepreneurship journey. Oh my god, like I want to cry just saying this, and I'm so happy. Like, I'm doing a happy dance right now, like jumping up and down. I'm so happy, and I shared it with my coach. And I'm so grateful for the Subkit team for reaching out to me, because like it was so personal the way that they reached out to me. They said they were looking for small business owners in Alberta, and they were doing a series, and I was like, oh my god, okay, this is legit. This is legit. I love it. And so I replied, and they sent me a form, and then I completed the interview form, and they published my interview today on their site. And I've been following their steps. I've been backlinking, and they've also helped me backlink as well to my social media and my application form for my Magnetic Manifestor program. And then they've also been backlinking to my website as well. So I'm like, oh, this is so amazing. But yeah, it was really fun doing the interview. I love interviews. I used to do a lot of interviews myself. And it was really nice to be on the other end of the interview, not gonna lie. I love it. And also, the next thing that happened was I got a coach. I got a one-on-one coach for my business, and to help me have a bulletproof mindset and reclaim my crown and just keep on growing no matter what happens. And it's been so amazing. I've only had one session with her so far, which was last week. But holy shit, I cleared so much stuff. I cleared so many of emotions last week with her, and it just helped me have the room and the capacity to just move forward in my business and like tackle all these tasks, like delegate tasks to my virtual assistant, my lovely virtual assistant, and then fill out that interview form, and then like keep my coach updated on Voxer on like how I'm doing and how things are doing, and also to have the capacity to have conversations with ideal clients and old clients as well. And holy shit, like just so much happened in the last week and a half, and I've also been experiencing so many synchronicities. So remembering your why is so powerful, because when you remember your why, either you get pulled in a very strong direction to keep moving forward with your business, your vision, your mission, what you want to achieve, or you turn the other way around and then you try something else, right? And my why was, you know, I want to avoid working for another brand. Like, I'm okay with being a brand ambassador while I'm focusing 80% of my time focusing on my brand. Like 20%, I actually do a lot of like affiliate marketing too. So I'm okay with spending 20% of my time like representing like different brands like Amazon or Pinky Paradise, where I get my circle lenses, or Chef's Plate, or like whatever food services I use, right? That's very good to have and easy to have as like a side income as well. But 80% of my time definitely I want to use to focus on my own brand. I want to use it to focus on the Magnetic Unicorn brand. I want to use it to focus on Karen Nguyen, me. So that's why I wanted to talk about remembering your why, because it's so important, especially when you're an entrepreneur and you feel like you're actually going solo, like the entrepreneurship series that I did my interview in. And you realize that you're actually not alone. When you start to remember your why, you start to pull yourself in directions where you actually end up with people who are experiencing very similar things, And after I remembered my why, just before I remembered my why, I was starting to optimize my surroundings, actually my social surroundings. So I noticed that I was surrounding myself with a lot of coaches that were not in my niche. And I really knew that if I wanted to grow, I needed to actually surround myself with other manifestation success coaches, life coaches, executive coaches, leadership coaches, instead of just business coaches. Because I would not learn anything other than just how to move with my business, like income wise, just for the business coaches. But being able to surround myself with coaches who do very similar things, or maybe even the exact same thing that I do, is very liberating. It was also very uncomfortable for a while because, like there's the whole thing where you have as an entrepreneur when you start to compare yourself to other entrepreneurs. And that is why I was so scared to follow like-minded entrepreneurs and coaches who were doing very similar things in my business, right? But then I realized that this is actually a really good learning opportunity for me. I can observe them, I can see what they are doing, like for their marketing, their sales, or whatever process, and learn a few tips and techniques from them too that I can also use to help my clients, right? And also make friends with other life coaches, right? Even if we do very similar things, it's okay to make friends. And I've been making friends with some coaches here and there. And it's been a blast. So I'm really looking forward to the next awesome steps in my journey, next awesome upgrades in my journey. I am also upgrading my living space. I just checked out a beautiful industrial rental complex that I've been interested in for a year. And oh my god, I'm like so proud of myself because I was able to ask them about price, and I was able to tour a place, and I was also able to ask if I can tour a place. They didn't have these places available at the time, but they said that they will be available after June 1st to tour. Hopefully, I'm crossing my fingers that that I'll be able to tour these places. So there's a penthouse, and then there is also a 2-bedroom, 2-bath place. And I'm gonna tell you right now, they're actually out of my price point, but I know with me that I manifest very fast when I want something. And so I'm really looking forward to this. And oh my god, it's like I started to realize exactly why I wanted the freedom that I wanted and why I wanted the income that I wanted in my business. And I realized it's not about the income. I actually made a video on this on my Instagram, so I'm going to link it in the comments below if you're curious on how you can manifest more income in your business, right? So that you can actually manifest the things you want with that income. So I hope that's helpful. And I started to actually start thinking of my future and my goals and like the things that I would love to spend my money on, the things that I love spending my money on. I've actually been I've been listening to an audiobook called Rich as Fuck by Amanda Frances, and she is like the money queen. She's a business coach, and she has an amazing way of explaining how to manifest money in your business and how to feel good about money. And I've been studying manifesting money and how to feel good about money for almost 3 years now, out of curiosity and to develop myself better, but also to help my clients manifest more wealth and money in their life. And that's what a lot of my clients come to me for, is for that abundance. So I love that. And there's so many good takeaways from it, like, just like being very intentional about the purchases that you have, making sure that these purchases you actually feel really good about. And I've had so many purchases in the past where I felt so shitty about them that I would feel shitty for a while, and I would start to attract like shitty things in my life. And so I love the way that she puts it very simply on how to manifest this wealth in your life. So I'm actually gonna add my affiliate link for the product on Amazon. in the comments below. So if you're in Canada, you can click on it, and if you do buy something, I do get a commission from it. So just letting you know that, and I would really appreciate your help. And yeah, I'm gonna drop off some links in the description. Did I say comments earlier? I might have said comments. I will drop some links in the description for the resources that I talked about today. So the Rich as Fuck audiobook, my Go Solo interview, and what was the other thing? I don't remember, but it will come up. I'll look through this video again, and then I'll drop those links in the description. So if you're interested in purchasing anything or taking a look at my interview, I would really appreciate that. And as always, let me know what your takeaways were from this vlog, and I'll see you next time on another From 9 to 5 Entrepreneur vlog. Bye everyone. Love you.